Well, let me jump in and kind of introduce the public to who he's an extremely humble guy, but I've known him quite some time. And whenever you go to Munther Massarweh for anything in this community or in San Francisco, where he was a cop, a beloved cop, and a courageous cop, this is a guy who believes in community unity. Not just as an immigrant, he's living the dream, and he says that, but he actually gives back to the community in huge ways through his love and compassion and connection, all the events we've done with him. And I've known he and his family. I was at his wedding. It's just a remarkable spirit, a remarkable guy, and completely connected to. This is the kind of business you want. This is the kind of business person you want to support in the community and make sure he succeeds, because he's blended into community unity, love, respect, compassion, connection. He exudes it even when he's talking today about how we share with each other. Just now, we've grown in consciousness that we're not alone out there. We need to pay attention to each other and be connected to our veterans and our community first responders and helping them. And whenever you go to Munther and his businesses and ask for any kind of help, they are always stepping out. And our special needs kids always stepping out. This is a guy we want to make sure we're getting he and his family connected to the community support, love, respect, and decency by patronizing these kind of businesses that get it. You know, they're local run, immigrant inspired folks, and just a remarkable spirit, a remarkable guy, a good friend to all of us. But what I want to just say is that I so admire you and what you've done with your life, and you're the living embodiment of everything that my grandparents, who were immigrants, came and arrived and brought to America. We sacrificed, we risked by being in the military, and many of us in law enforcement in our big Irish Catholic family, and we have succeeded. And you know, all those great wishes go to you and your family, Munther. You're a good man.
Well, thank you for the kind words.
I mean, that's how it works. I mean, it's just us in community unity. I just wanted to ask you, what was it like, you know, in a time in San Francisco where you were, you know, first responding and going out with these guys? And it was a dangerous time in the early 80s to be a cop. I was working in probation there. What was it like for you to be in that blended circumstance in San Francisco?
When I was like 6, 7 years old, my mother and my father brought me to the States, and we lived in Daly City for a long time, and just grew up going to high school in Daly City. And then as I got into college, I went to San Francisco City College, and I was taking criminology courses and just got real interested in it, and then I started applying and was fortunate enough under descent decree to be able to get in as an immigrant into the police department. I think at that point we had to, the police departments were required to have X amount of minorities, you know, hired. So I think that helped me get in. But interesting enough, I never left the restaurant business. My father owned delis and small restaurants, and just I grew up working, washing dishes, and I just kind of did both for the longest time. And I actually opened up Perry's in Mill Valley in 1982, which was when I was introduced to Marin County. Oh. And so I've just always kind of had multiple jobs. My brother served in the Marine Corps, and so he went in at a very young age. I believe it was like 17 years old. And, you know, it was just, you know, us here, my mother was, you know, homemaker, never really was fortunate enough to never had to work. Because, you know, we were actually pretty poor, but we just got by, and that's all we needed. And I've been really, really fortunate to have just kind of worked my way through the ranks, both in the restaurant business and in the police department. And honestly, Steve, I really did and do believe in the American dream. You know, people come to this country because they see opportunity, freedom, and you know, and I think sometimes that is taken for granted. This is a wonderful country. It's so sad that right now see it's so divided.
Absolutely.
And in turmoil, and hopefully we all come out of this as one, you know, united, because you know, we all deserve to be here. I really believe in equality, and I do think there's a lot of things that still need to be fixed. But I'm hopeful that this country will come out of this united. But it is, we are going through a little bit of a sad time right now with both the pandemic and then also the you know, all the riots and the protesting that are going on right now. But yeah, I joined the police department at a very young age. I believe I graduated in June of '86 from the academy, and it was a very different time. Michael, you asked me how it was. It was just very different, and mainly because we didn't have social media. We didn't have a lot of, you know, we didn't have a lot of these things that we have now. So the times have definitely changed, and I can't really, you know, pinpoint exactly when it changed. I just know that over time it's definitely changed, and it's it seems to be now that there, you know, you can't lump one bad apple with everyone else. I really support law enforcement, not because I was a police officer, but because I know that first responders, fire, police, are out there doing good every single day. And is there bad apples? Of course there is. You know, in every single job, you're always going to find good and bad people. And I think that it's just, you know, the nature of things, and those things need to change. But yeah, it was a very different time growing up in the police department. A lot of it was just morals seem to have changed quite a bit. And like I said, I think social media has really changed the landscape of law enforcement. You know, everything is on video now. Everything is more liability. It's a very interesting time. I'm kind of glad at this point that I'm not in law enforcement, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. I understand.
How long were you with the department?
About 9 years and 8 months.
And then you decided, kind of, what was that kind of period like?
I was doing both. I was in law enforcement, and I was working in the restaurant business, and I worked at McCormick and Coletto's, and I would work till 8 o'clock at night. I get off and I work from 9 p.m. to 6 in the morning for the police department. I was working undercover at that time, and it was just around the clock work. And you know, I was single, wasn't married, didn't have kids. But it just got to the point where I really couldn't grow anymore unless I gave up one career. And I had a wonderful opportunity to go be part of Let Us Entertain You in Chicago, to be the executive chef at the Pump Room. And it was kind of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So I decided to kind of take that and run with it. And I loved both my job, both my careers. I just had to pick one. To be able to grow, I needed to give up one. You know, better to be good at one thing than you know, master of none. So it was the right decision for me. But yeah, I was working, you know, both things for a very long time. I didn't really have much of a life, but
yeah. And you went to Chicago, and then you were in Hawaii, and like what was that kind of period like?
I did. You know what? I was recruited by Let Us Entertain You to go to the Pump Room. But before that, when I was working at Perry's here in Novadia, I was contacted by some people in Hawaii, and they wanted to open up a restaurant. They wanted me to be the chef, and it was kind of my first chef job. You know, I didn't really know 100% what I was doing, but I know I would work hard, and so I got a little piece of the action to be able to go and open up something in Kona, Hawaii. So I went, and I was there for about 5 years.
Wow!
And it was a great experience, and I was able to work there for a while, and then, you know, come back here, and then you know, everything happened with the police department and Let Us Entertain You. So it was I've had quite a little bit of run between, you know, restaurant business and law enforcement. And, you know, restaurant business is kind of where like I said, if I had a, you know, pick, I would do it all over again. I would do the same thing. I really enjoy what I do.
Thank you for joining us in the Barracks. To learn more about our hosts, guests, and how to support Vets Mobile Dental Unit, visit www.inthebarracks.org.